Justin Bieber subtly hinted that one Hollywood star was more evil than they let on years ago, but no one caught on. Now the secret is out and the truth has been revealed. Well, it's no secret that Justin Bieber has had a rough go in the entertainment world. From being discovered at such a young age, he had to grow up with millions of eyes watching his every move. He had famous mentors that attempted to help the star navigate Hollywood's growing pains. Most were genuinely trying to help the singer out, but one mentor in particular has been the subject of a recent scandal that has been toppling empires with every new story that emerges. And now fans are worried that that mentor did more harm than good to Bieber. I am of course talking about one man, Sean Diddy Combs. Combs has been arrested for allegedly intimately harming people or being the facilitator for that to happen to people. It allegedly happened at all of his big parties and events, and sometimes he would allegedly even throw events specifically for this. As of October of last year, the number of accusations against the star was at about 120. However, many people speculate that Diddy has hurt way more people than those that have come forward, including a young Justin Bieber. Because those two actually knew each other for a long time and were pictured together often. Bieber was a fan of the rappers when they met when Bieber was too young for a license. He had wanted to meet Combs because he was a fan, but also because he had produced a track for him. Beliebers helped get Combs' attention. I mean, Justin being signed to Diddy's protege Usher also helped a little bit. Justin was invited to spend 2 days with Diddy, the start of which was documented in a short video posted to Justin's YouTube. In the video, Diddy claimed that over the next 48 hours, the pair were going to go crazy, but he couldn't say exactly what and where they would be. However, he reassured watchers that it would be a 15-year-old's dream. At the time, people were like, oh, that's so great, he's taking care of Bieber. Now, however, people are very worried about what happened over those few days. Of course, no one can be 100% sure that Bieber did experience anything inappropriate unless he decides to come forward, should it be true, but some online theorists speculate that Bieber has been making statements, we just didn't have the context needed to understand them. Just a few months ago, Bieber's Yummy music video gained traction again after people speculated that there was a hidden meaning to it, citing things like food symbolizing certain acts, an older party guest constantly sitting at his table and sharing their meals with Bieber, and then towards the end there were dancers dressed in white, which are now making people think of Diddy's infamous white parties that were allegedly the backdrop for many of his alleged crimes. The video ends with a shot of Bieber's plate. It showed a picture of Little Him with Yummy written under. At the time, this was just a cute title card, cute picture in the song title, but now people think it's Bieber's way of saying that he was served on a plate or that Little Him was considered a treat to party guests. People began to recall how desperate Bieber was at the time of the song's release to get it out there. People were originally put off by how much Bieber was pushing the track and trying to get people to view the music video, but if the theories are true, it makes more sense. Fans also referred to the behind-the-scenes footage that showed Bieber breaking down on set. The star said that he was just feeling off, but fans couldn't help but wonder if the breakdowns were actually a result of Bieber reliving past experiences. Should the rumors that this video was Diddy-coded be true, when this song first came out, people criticized the lyrics pretty heavily. It isn't exactly Shakespeare with the repeated yummy yum chorus. However, some fans today theorize that there was more going on than people realized, that the word yummy sounds like young me, and it was another way that Bieber was trying to get his message across. Of course, this theory is very polarizing. Some people think it's completely ridiculous and others are more inclined to believe after all the Diddy accusations did come out. The pair would appear in interviews later that made people very uncomfortable watching them back today. Together, they made an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2011, so that's 2 years after the 48 Hours with Diddy video. In the interview, Combs, Bieber, and Kimmel were talking about Bieber getting a car from Combs, to which Combs said Bieber had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Everything ain't for everybody. Alright, pack it up. In the year 2024, these comments are deeply concerning. At the time, no one had any reason to believe there was evil lurking behind closed doors, but today, it's worrying, especially since Diddy was completely unwilling to share some of the activities that the two were going to get up to when they hung out for those 48 hours. A 2020 interview with Apple Music showed the more vulnerable side of Bieber when he shared how protective he feels about upcoming young artists because of his personal experiences. The interview was over 40 minutes long, and the topics ranged from Bieber's music to his personal life to, of course, his experience growing up in the music industry. From the sounds of it, it was very difficult being a public figure that young, which I know, in other news, water is wet. But in the section of the interview about this, you could see the weight of everything that Bieber went through resting on his shoulders. The star openly spoke about the negative side effects of the world of entertainment. He exposed the lack of loyalty, saying, "Everyone telling me they love me and just turn your back on you in a second." This could be referring to the industry itself. Everyone wanted to be seen with teen pop sensations because being connected to the most famous boy in the world would boost anyone's career at the time. But the minute the boy wonder does something wrong, it was like he was radioactive. Although Bieber did have his fair share of controversies, not all of them ended up being true, like the spitting on fans thing, that was actually debunked. But the car totaling and saying racially charged words and jokes, that did happen, though he did apologize for the latter. Still, it would be really difficult managing the pressures of growing up when you're not actually sure who you can lean on. There was even once an instance in which one of Bieber's friends sold a story about him to the press that earned that friend an alleged $40,000. But that's only scratching the surface of what the poor man has gone through. We may never know if anything went on behind closed doors, but there was unfortunately plenty to see happening out in the open. Clips of old Bieber interviews and similar situations have started popping up online again. One TikToker helpfully compiled many of them together, and it's a tough watch. It featured clips of Bieber's boundaries being disregarded, people thinking they can touch him whenever and wherever, asking really personal, invasive questions when he and much of his audience was not of age. There was even an instance in which a woman 22 years older than Bieber jumped him on a stage. There is, of course, more out there. This is just a handful of what happened, and that's just what happened to him. Who knows what he could have seen when he was younger at Hollywood parties and hanging out with Diddy. It's an unimaginable hardship for anyone that grew up normally, but Justin is trying to break the cycle, or at least offer a steady, supportive hand to young artists. In particular, the Apple interview touched on his friendship with Billie Eilish, and that is because Eilish is actually a huge Belieber. Like, in her words, he was her first crush, and she recognized Justin at Coachella 2019 because she knows his body language, how he stands, and where he wears his pants, which is truly something only a dedicated fangirl would know. She got the chance to work with Bieber on a remix of her song Bad Guy, and it would be safe to say that Bieber probably saw a bit of himself in her. In the interview, he talked about how he feels protective over her because he doesn't want her to go through anything he went through because he doesn't wish that upon anybody. And he's not all talk. He gave Eilish his number with the promise that if she calls, he will answer. If she needs help, she can count on him. He understands growing up not knowing who he can turn to, and if he can help it, it won't happen to Eilish. Bieber was clear that he would never wish to force a friendly relationship with Eilish, but he wants to leave the opportunity open should she need it. This sentiment actually echoes a 2013 interview Justin and his manager Scooter Braun did. Scooter said that he was learning to let Justin grow and make mistakes and just be there for him through it all as a role model and a solid figure. Funny how things come full circle. And if you're wondering if Billie ever did call, the answer is yes. In June of last year, Billie shared the message that she would give a younger her, and it was, "You can and have and do call Justin Bieber at any given time. Anytime you want, you can, and he'll answer." That is 4 years after Justin's Apple Music interview, so it's clear he is a man of his word. An interview between Justin Bieber and Diddy has recently resurfaced, and it's taking the internet by storm. Diddy wanted the younger star to keep quiet about whatever was happening at their hangouts, and after all the recent allegations against Diddy Combs, people are voicing their concerns. Popular music artist Sean Diddy Combs, responsible for songs like I'll Be Missing You and I Need a Girl, was recently arrested, and new details about the serious situation are coming out daily. It started with the November 2023 lawsuit from one of his ex-partners, and it continued with multiple other individuals coming forward to share their stories of Diddy's misconduct, and the latest development is a 2011 Jimmy Kimmel live interview resurfacing. Kimmel is interviewing Combs and a young Justin Bieber. At this point in time, Bieber was quite close to Combs, it seems, good friends. Combs even referred to Bieber as a little brother throughout the interview. Still, the age difference between the two is staggering, about 24 years. So of course, Kimmel questioned how this duo even came to be, asking if the pair were possibly working together, to which Diddy denied, instead sharing that the two became friends in a strange way.
I mean, I think that we we've become friends in a strange way, you know?
Like Robin Big.
No real elaboration on that statement. Diddy just kind of continues on, saying that Bieber is like a little brother to a lot of people in the music industry. He will call up Diddy and presumably others in the industry for advice when needed, and then his next statements just start feeling a little bit icky with everything the public now knows about him. Diddy starts talking about how himself and others in the strong family that is the record industry want to keep their arms around Justin and protect him because he is such a nice person.
And he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around and we want to protect him.
Back in 2011, when this interview came out, these statements raised no red flags as far as the public knew. Diddy was a great guy, a big help to a rising star, and a music icon. In fact, people clapped for him in the interview because, well, these are nice things to say about a 16-year-old Bieber. However, in 2024, with everything we now know about Combs and his behind-the-scenes lifestyle, his comments are way more off-putting and uncomfortable. Justin appears to be pretty at ease during the interview, joking around with Combs and Kimmel. When Kimmel plays off the little brother comments by suggesting Combs buy Bieber a car like he did his actual son, Bieber is quick to play along, saying, "He got me a Lamborghini, I haven't gotten it yet though." This is somehow the moment that shifted the conversation into questionable territory. Kimmel asks when the car is coming, to which Diddy responds that Bieber had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and this is where it gets weird in 2024, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Everything ain't for everybody. This is met with lots of laughter from the audience because who would have ever thought that anything shady could be going on behind the scenes with this guy? This entire conversation and interaction is likely referring to the 48 hours Diddy and Justin had spent together around this time. That's right, a young Justin Bieber was left in Combs' care for a full 48 hours. Now, how did that even happen? Well, there is an explanation out there. Nowadays, musicians' YouTubes are more for uploading music videos or some behind the scenes content, but 15 years ago, vlogs were super common and uploaded pretty frequently by big stars, including Bieber. He did in fact shoot a quick 2-minute video with Diddy, and it is in fact still up on Justin Bieber's YouTube channel today. So let's get into it. The video starts out with Diddy and Bieber looking at a luxury car, which is, you guessed it, a Lamborghini, just like they were talking about in the Kimmel interview. In the vlog, Diddy is shown telling Justin that when he turns 16 to come back down to use the car, even saying the keys would be his. And that makes some of those Kimmel comments make a lot more sense. But how did Bieber even end up in the position to be hanging out with Diddy anyways? The caption of the vlog explains that, saying that Justin had produced a song for Combs that he wanted to show him, and the Believers got his attention and made it happen. As the mini vlog continues, Combs and Bieber start discussing what they're gonna do. I mean, Combs is almost 40 and Bieber hasn't hit 16 yet, so really, what are they gonna do? Combs' answer to that question is, "Where are we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream."
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose. It's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
And I think collectively we're all hoping it was paintball and music producing, but still, that is a very concerning statement from Combs. Combs continues on sharing that he had custody of Bieber for the 48 hours he was with him, and then shared how he had legal guardianship of Usher when he produced his first album. The short video finishes with Diddy promising that him and the young star were going to go full crazy. Bieber suggested they start the 48 hours by going to get some girls, to which Diddy responded, "Man after my heart."
He's with me, so and we gonna go full, buck full crazy.
Going crazy.
All in all, this video could not have aged worse. It's surprising that the video is even still up on Justin's channel, and even more surprising, the comment section is still active. Many users are commenting their concerns over the contents of the conversation. One user bringing up the fact that despite this video being up almost 14 years, no one's questioned it till now. We don't know exactly what happened during those 48 hours, however, something weird must have went down because it seems Justin stopped contacting Combs afterward. Diddy visited Bieber in studio a little while after the 48 hours, and Justin looked noticeably less at ease than he had in that first vlog together. Diddy also seemed to be getting on Justin's case for not contacting him or staying in touch as much, which is an odd thing to be requesting from someone almost 24 years your junior. Diddy is still getting on the young star's case, suggesting that because he's a big deal now, selling out arenas and everything, that's why he stopped calling and that's why they stopped hanging out.
Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Comments the baby singer has made as he gets older have also raised some red flags about what he has gone through in the industry. Comments about how he wants to protect younger artists and getting emotional in interviews.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn. And
it's no secret that Justin has had a rough go in the music industry and has publicly coped with his trauma in unglamorous ways. As more and more information comes out about those he was surrounded with at the time, people are creating more and more theories that make his outbursts make sense. However, it seems Bieber is looking to put all the harder events of his upbringing behind him. An insider close to the singer has shared that amongst all this, he just wants to focus on being a great dad and husband. Bieber welcomed his first child with Hailey Bieber in August after announcing the pregnancy back in May. His fans and the general public do wish for the best for the singer. The same cannot be said though for Sean Diddy Combs, of course, and as the charges and evidence continue to pile up against him, he loses public favor with every passing day. Recently, it's come out that one of his youngest victims wasn't even Justin's age when he first met Combs. As it stands, Combs is facing a minimum of 15 years and a max of a life sentence. Combs has continued to deny that he ever harmed anyone.
Justin Bieber, who has been in the headlines since the arrest of his former mentor, Sean Diddy Combs, has reportedly dealt a huge blow. It's been less than 2 decades since he became a global superstar, and his launch to stardom happened quickly, and now the singer is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. However, making lots of money means paying a lot of taxes, which has not happened in at least one case, leading to Biebs getting hit with a significant tax penalty. Last week, TMZ reported that Justin Bieber, who became a dad this past summer with Hailey Bieber, was considering suing his business managers. The singer apparently feels that his finances have not been handled properly for years. Now, we now have a specific example of just what might be the problem, as Justin reportedly owes nearly $400,000 in unpaid property taxes. In January 2023, Justin purchased a home in Coachella Valley, California, near the home of his former manager Scooter Braun, worth $16.6 million. Now, a house that expensive comes with a pretty significant property tax bill, $380,349 to be exact. Now, half of those taxes were due on October 10th, but according to The Sun, which says it has seen the records, the bill has not been paid. The taxes, which cover 2022 and 2023, haven't been paid by Justin, who parted ways with his former business managing firm, TriStar, in 2022. If that's the case, then tax penalties will likely be assessed, and the tax penalty on a $380,000 bill is likely significant. Now, Bieber can almost certainly afford it, as the singer sold his music catalog the same month he bought the house for $200 million. Now, Justin is far from the first star to end up in trouble over taxes, though. Other celebrities have been arrested for non-payment of taxes, as well as alleged tax fraud. However, the fact that the bills have not been paid may be part of the reason the singer is considering legal action against his former business managers. A well-placed source exclusively revealed that we're told the argument against suing is that Justin went through a period where he was spending wildly. However, the representative of the managing firm, John Houston, said in a statement, Justin Bieber is not considering legal action against TriStar. We did nothing wrong in our brief 18 months of representing him, and he is aware of this, John said. He added, "We were not involved in any alleged unpaid property bills." Now, it's unclear exactly how many people could be sued or how much Justin believes has been lost, but more than one manager is reportedly the target of any potential lawsuit, and a lot of money could be at stake. Justin Bieber's current team is apparently not entirely sold on the idea of suing. Some are reportedly suggesting that Justin himself is at least partially to blame for any financial problems, as he has been known to spend a lot of money on everything from private jets and houses to church donations. This new update of Justin's life is no less than a setback for the singer, who recently embraced fatherhood after the birth of his son, Jack Blues Bieber, who he welcomed with Hailey Bieber. Now, it's important to mention Puff Daddy's arrest for various crimes has reportedly overwhelmed the yummy singer, with sources saying he wasn't protected enough. So who was Justin's former management team at TriStar? Well, one of them just so happened to be Lou Taylor, and you should know that name because one of Lou's employees, Robin Greenhill, was listed as Diddy's accountant and allegedly oversaw payments to certain workers. Now the claims come from music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who also accuses Combs of harassing and then doing worse to him. Now, as some readers will remember, Lou was previously accused of being involved in forming Britney Spears' conservatorship. Now, these are not the only times she's had bad press either. Lou was thrown into the spotlight when reports emerged that Britney was blaming her former business manager for many of her conservatorship-related issues. Justin had now hired a new business manager, Edward White, who founded Edward White & Co. in 1976. The California-based firm, which recently merged with Eid Bailey, provides tax and consulting services and has a client list of several Hollywood figures, including Jack Nicholson and Alan Paulson, as well as Lena Horne and Vince Scully estates. But what could all of this mean for Justin's mental health? You see, back in 2019, Justin opened up on Instagram about his battle with depression, the diagnosis of which was publicly confirmed in February of that year. He wrote in the caption, "Just wanted to keep you guys updated, been struggling a lot, just feeling super disconnected and weird." It was an important step in his recovery, although the star, who quickly rose to fame when he was just 15 years old, isn't worried about himself. "I always bounce back, so I'm not worried, just wanted to reach out and ask for you guys to pray for me," he added. We as onlookers shouldn't dismiss his bravery. In fact, we should take Justin's admission very seriously. Now, Justin has also had a concerning year. On April 14th, Justin surprised the Coachella crowd when he joined WizKid and Tems on stage for a song. Though pleasantly delighting his fans, his recent music show appearance also sparked concerns among his friends, who are reportedly worried about him spiraling again. The 30-year-old singer has had a roller coaster worth of a journey with severe ups and downs, as a source in recent media reports claimed. Grappling with Lyme disease, depression, and anger management, Justin has previously acknowledged his frequent alcohol intake as well as his reliance on substances during his rock bottom moments. Now, the Insider also proclaimed that Coachella was indeed a huge accomplishment for the singer, but he's still very fragile. The ongoing lawsuits fixated on blowing the lid off Diddy have also taped Justin's name now and then, with several videos featuring Puffy blasting into the present from the past and going viral upon resurfacing. A concerning vision of Justin's early days in Hollywood has also come into focus. Multiple re-emerging clips have focused on unhealthy and creepy looks at Justin's connection with Puffy in his early days as an underage star who rose to fame. His fans have even raised fears of Justin possibly having witnessed the worst and darkest sides of Hollywood, especially with everything coming to light. Many worry about how his spiraling mental health at present can be attributed to the unspoken heinous misconducts that may have happened behind the curtains. Putting two and two together, Justin's fans have been on edge online and have frequently voiced their anxious thoughts. Now, adding to the hot mess, Justin took to his Instagram account on Saturday night, April 27th, to share a bunch of snaps, two of which were worrying pictures as fans took note of the singer's eyes filling up with tears. Sharing multiple posts on Instagram, he also showered his loved ones from the industry with much love, as he shared an endless streak of pictures of the members of his found family, including his wife Hailey Bieber, longtime buddy Jaden Smith, Will Smith, and many others. Now, the other posts were bubbling with energy and happiness, with clips capturing him in his element on stage or leisurely golfing and making the most of serenity by the beach. However, fans couldn't ignore the two pictures in which they caught his eyes welling up, linking it all with the unsaid truth and potential horrors of being exposed to showbiz at a young age. Worried fans correlated his gloomy mood in the photos to him crying out for help. Comments like, "I feel bad for him, he is broke, he's crying out for help," and "poor kid, Lord only knows what his parents allowed to happen to him just for fame," have been common staples on social media. Another user commented, "But he'll heal, I pray he does. Only God knows the true monstrosity he had to face as the first ever child YouTube star." Now, a fourth Twitter user prayed for his his well-being. Really hope he's okay. He's had quite the life.
Justin Bieber's life hasn't really belonged to him since he was discovered at age 12. The star went from an average kid from Canada to the biggest pop star in the entire world within a couple years. He's been dragged around the world for entertainment, and sure, there is some benefit to staying in 5-star hotels after being flown in on a private jet and having millions of adoring fans, but the shine wears off when suddenly you can't sleep and some of those fans are more like stalkers. And sure, it's cool to see your name up in lights, but it's less cool to see your name splashed across the front page in a headline that's not even true. It's also not cool when private photos and videos of yourself go viral because people want to know every little thing about you, because a person's right to privacy goes out the window when enough people start liking the art that they create. It's no secret that Justin lost the plot a little bit and went a bit wild about a decade ago, but there's so much footage out there that you can basically watch the pieces fall into place that led to the breaking point. Some videos, they stand out more than others, like the 48 Hours with Diddy video from 2009. This particular clip was posted to Bieber's YouTube channel, and it's resurfaced, obviously, with all the Diddy stuff happening right now. Over 120 accusations of unwanted physical attention have been brought against the former rapper, and to make it clear, Justin Bieber is not one of them. He has not accused Diddy of anything. However, you might have heard that he did or seen headlines suggesting it, and that is because of this YouTube video, 48 Hours with Diddy. In the video, Diddy is seen showing Justin a car and walking him around his property. Then it moves to the pair standing side by side, explaining how the 48 hours is going to go. Diddy says that the pair were going to go crazy, and it would be a teen's dream, and I'm hoping joked about having custody of Bieber for the next 48 hours. With everything that's come out about Diddy's activity in Hollywood, people have found this resurfaced video to be extremely troubling, wondering if anything bad happened to Bieber that weekend. Soon, other clips of the pair talking about this weekend went viral. There was a 2011 interview with Jimmy Kimmel, in which Kimmel tried to get details about their wild weekend. But Diddy made it clear that the pair wouldn't be saying anything. He left no room for argument, saying everything ain't for everybody, and Justin knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. When you put it like that, no wonder there's headlines like Diddy warned Justin Bieber not to speak up. 1 year before that interview happened, in 2010, Diddy actually visited Justin in studio to get on his case about not calling and hanging out with him enough, which sounds a bit like I'm embellishing, but his exact words were, "You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to." 24-year age gap here, and one isn't legal yet. Hollywood is weird, but does it need to be that weird? Whatever happened to a solid professional relationship? Whatever happened to just being co-workers? Now, I might have some good news. One believer is very sure that Justin and Diddy never actually spent 48 hours with each other. A Reddit user was apparently sick of people saying that and compiled a timeline with screenshots and receipts in an attempt to prove that Diddy and Justin were only together for as long as it took to film that video. The user used Justin's outfit in the video to tie the video to October 31st, even though it was released over a week later. In his white tee and purple flannel, Justin apparently attended a Levi's event in the morning, Diddy's house in the afternoon, a radio interview in the evening, and then, because it was Halloween, trick-or-treated with his friends at night and went to their house for a party after. It was confirmed that the party didn't take place at Diddy's house. Of course, there's the next day, maybe Justin did go to the party, but then went back to Diddy's. However, there is a tweet from Bieber from November 9th that implied that Justin was always going to fly out that day to Vancouver for a show but got sick and couldn't. By November 2nd, he was on The Ellen Show. Following this timeline, the Reddit user has presented sound evidence that Diddy and Justin never actually spent a weekend together, and it was more of like a promo video, and at most, they probably hung out for an afternoon. I feel like a lawyer or something right now. If this person is right, then that would mean Diddy and Justin just lied for clicks. And I know that we have "thou shalt not lie" and all of that, but I would 100% take Bieber lying about spending time with Diddy than actually spending time with Diddy. Thou shalt not do a lot of the things that Diddy has been accused of. Justin Bieber went viral in 2020 when he revealed that he felt protective over friend Billie Eilish in an Apple Music interview. The star shared that he wanted to be someone that Eilish could count on in the industry, since she was pretty young when she started out, and he knew how difficult being young in the industry was. He said that he didn't want her to go through anything that he went through, and that he didn't wish that on anybody. Now, in the interview, this was referencing an earlier statement Bieber made about not knowing where to turn and people saying they love you 1 minute but then turning on you the next. But with all the Diddy stuff, fans wondered if there was more context to this line. Of course, Justin has not accused Diddy of anything, once again, just to be clear. What Justin was talking about, people turning on you, yeah, that did happen. It happened when he was arrested almost a decade ago, and it's happening again now. Photos of the star making recent public appearances and also just walking around outside have gone viral as people believe Bieber looks exhausted. Social media users have said the star looks haggard and are being generally unkind about his physical appearance. Some people have even accused the star of using substances, something that Bieber does have a history with, so I'm sure he appreciates that. It's a mystery as to the way the pop star might be more tired lately. It's not like he has a tiny human at home, currently at the age to be defined as a human alarm clock. But going back to the substances thing, that was right around the era of Bieber's life when he got arrested and the Jelena breakup happened, and when old videos of the man being racially insensitive dropped and he was being sued and he lost custody of his pets. 2014 was just an awful year for the man. And well, the racially charged things, yeah, he got the right amount of criticism for that, I will admit, but back to the substances. So Justin was being sued by a photographer. The photographer claimed that Justin asked his bodyguard to physically harm him, so lawsuit. Footage of his deposition was leaked by TMZ, and in it, Bieber admitted that he had Xanax without a prescription. This was important because right at the beginning of the year, he was arrested for influenced driving, and one of the influences was described as a prescription drug, believed to be the anti-anxiety medication that he has now admitted that he didn't have a prescription for. Bieber was also acting a bit rude in the interview, and then the interviewer also brought up his past relationship with Selena for some reason, and Justin only got madder. The 4.5-hour interview covered a lot, but the point is, after it came to light, Justin received a lot of criticism online from his fans and the general public. But there was a lot that led up to this public breakdown. Bieber has been subject to some pretty gross things over the years. He's been kissed by a grown woman without consent, Jenny McCarthy, almost 40 at the time in 2012, asked invasive questions about intimacy when he was way too young to be asked about that. People were obsessed with his relationship status. Katy Perry in 2012 was filmed grabbing the pop star's behind. Despite Bieber often appearing and saying that he was uncomfortable, things just kept happening to him. And his support system wasn't that great. His father even positively responded to leaked intimate photos of Bieber online in 2016. His mother and Bieber have reportedly had a strained relationship, so it's no wonder the star began acting out. Unfortunately, Justin Bieber is just one of many child stars failed by the adults around him, and he also, somehow, is not the last. This generation has young stars like Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, Blue Ivy, and more, and you can see that people are just weird about them. Millie had a countdown to her 18th birthday. Finn Wolfhard experienced odd comments about his name from adult castmates, and also having grown people crushing on him when he was barely a teenager. And now Blue Ivy is having people constantly commenting on her appearance and the clothes she wears. It's a horrible cycle that people just haven't been able to break, despite seeing the fallout with former child stars like Britney Spears, Miley Cyrus, and now Justin Bieber. Now, of course, as a person and a Canadian, I do have my own personal opinion on Bieber. Personally, I think he's doing alright for himself. He's got his family unit and a brand new member of that family to care for. He's clearly done some restructuring of the people in his life. He's pretty much set when it comes to money between his own success and his wife's, and he seems to be making the music he wants to make, so it looks like he's doing fine. But if I had to guess, I would say he's probably just exhausted by people overstepping boundaries 24/7.
As you probably know, Diddy was arrested last month for running a crime ring, and all eyes have been on his friends and known acquaintances, especially Justin Bieber. People are suspecting that Justin either 1, took part in the crimes, or 2, he was a victim. Since Diddy's arrest, people have been finding interviews or moments where Diddy acts super strange around Justin, and fans are worried for the star. Although Justin himself hasn't made a statement about Diddy's arrest, multiple sources close to him have spoken to the press about his current state. According to an Us Weekly source, Justin feels disgusted by the accusations against his former mentor. They added that Justin is advised to stay as far away as possible from anything and everything related to the now incarcerated rapper and producer. Another source for the same publication added that he is in a hard place mentally right now, as he struggles to come to terms with the allegations against Diddy. The bond shared with Diddy makes the accusations against him particularly tough to stomach, the source outlined. Then, according to Daily Mail sources, Justin feels isolated dealing with the revelations about Diddy and is sailing the waters alone. He apparently feels like there's no one who would understand his situation. Family members are concerned about Justin. It's unclear whether Diddy would have taken advantage of Justin at the time, as his family was nearby and his manager Scooter Braun really did care about him. The last thing Justin wants to do is relive or even discuss his complicated friendship with Diddy, the source said. But he's finally breaking his silence to his friends about his nightmare experience and private hell it caused him, they said. Now, hopefully, Justin is able to get the support that he needs, because this could be a long road for him. Now, in 2009, when Justin was a rising star, he reached out to Diddy on Twitter, begging him for a collab on his new album. Now, this caught Diddy's attention, and he became a mentor for the young star. Diddy helped him navigate fame in the industry, but a lot of videos have resurfaced of the two that are making people question Diddy's intentions with being so close to Justin. One video posted to Justin's YouTube channel from 2009 has people concerned because of what we know now about Diddy. The title of the video is Justin Bieber's 48 Hours with Diddy. The description of the video says, "I told you guys I produced a song for Diddy and I wanted to show it to him and you got his attention. Best fans in the world. Well, this past weekend I spent 48 hours with Diddy and had some fun. Here is some of the action. Thanks for the car puff, haha." So yes, a young Justin spent 48 hours alone with Diddy without his parents or even a responsible adult present. In this video, Diddy says he's having 48 hours with Diddy. Where we're hanging and what we're doing we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours he's with me and we're gonna go full crazy. Now, this is just weird in general, and looking back, Justin should have never been left alone with that man in the first place. Then in 2011, Diddy and Justin did a joint interview on Jimmy Kimmel. Things took a turn though when Diddy seemed to scold Justin on live TV in front of millions. Diddy was constantly praising Justin, but when Jimmy asked Justin if Diddy had given him any gifts, things got awkward to say the least. Justin said, "He got me a Lamborghini, I haven't gotten it yet though," and Diddy said the Lamborghini for a day or two and he had access to the house. And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Everything ain't for everybody, he said. I mean, Diddy could have pulled Justin aside afterwards and told him this, but the fact that he did it on TV and no one said anything is crazy. More recently though, a video of the pair reuniting in 2021 has people questioning if Diddy thought that Justin was working with the feds. In the video, it shows Diddy getting out of a car and approaching Justin, giving him a hug before patting him down on his chest and torso a few times. Now, the video had been posted in 2021 by Justin himself on his Instagram. But last week, Daily Mail reshared the video with the title, "Disturbing Video of Diddy with Justin Bieber." The accompanying caption read, "A resurfaced video of Diddy and Justin Bieber hugging has sparked speculation that Diddy was checking to see if the pop star was wearing a wire." Now, the fact that Diddy thought he was wearing a wire makes me believe that he knew he was doing something wrong and that the police were onto him. I mean, why wasn't this a bigger red flag at the time? Fans are now seeing the video in a new light due to Diddy's allegations, and one fan commented, "The body language says it all, from smiling to a frown in 2 seconds. JB shakes his head like no, I'm not wearing a wire." Now, many fans are encouraging Justin to tell his story, but only if he's comfortable. The music video was posted in 2020 and many people have called out how weird it was, but now that they're connecting the dots to Diddy, it's all making sense to them. Now, Justin grew up around Diddy just like his other mentor, Usher, did. When Usher was a young teen, he was signed by L.A. Reid, the co-founder of LaFace. Usher then went to New York in the spring of 1994 to live with Diddy, something Reid called Flavor Camp. Usher has then spoken about his experiences, and in one interview with Howard Howard Stern, Usher said, "I got a chance to see some things. I don't know if I could indulge and even understand what I was looking at." He elaborated by saying, "It was pretty wild, it was crazy, there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it." Then he was asked if he would allow his own kids to attend flavor camp at Diddy's residence, and he said, "Hell no." Now, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, then I don't know what does. I mean, Diddy even had custody of Usher for a period of time. Elsewhere during the chat, Usher recalled how he was like the little brother, as they called me Baby Boo. And Usher admitted he wasn't disciplinary, he was letting me be a young man. Yikes. Now it seems like Usher was a part of something he didn't fully understand, and that Justin went through something similar. After his Los Angeles and Miami homes were raided by officials in March, Diddy was arrested in New York in September and charged with various crimes. A 14-page indictment against him included dozens of disturbing allegations about him, including claims that he orchestrated and filmed freak-off parties. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, but weeks later, attorney Gloria Allred gathered her own additional clients who are set to file their own lawsuits against Diddy. Lawyer Tony Busby announced in a press conference. He said that his firm and another law firm will be representing 120 additional accusers. Now, before he was arrested, Diddy already had 4 different lawsuits filed against him, which he claimed were just money grabs and that he had done nothing wrong. He had put together multiple bail packages, but the judge denied all of them, so he'll be staying in jail for the time being. Now, Diddy intends to testify during his trial, which has been set for May 5th, 2025. We'll just have to see how the rest of this plays out, as I'm sure that more people will be coming forward with stories and that more people will be getting exposed for being a part of Diddy's crimes. Now, at the moment, no celebrity has directly spoken out against him, and who knows if Justin will. He's married and he just welcomed his first son with Hailey Bieber to the world in August of this year. Dealing with this type of thing is not something he needs in his life right now, as he should be focused on being a father, but with all this going on, it's probably bringing up a lot of memories and emotions, so we'll just have to see how it plays out. Well, that's all for Justin Bieber reacting after his secret past with Diddy is revealed.
Justin has long struggled with his mental health. Justin has been open about struggling with anxiety, as it's something he developed growing up in the spotlight. Apparently, he's been struggling with it recently again too. A source said Justin has been struggling for the last couple of years, and a significant part of that is down to his worry about being in certain public situations, the source said. Now, he has built up a deep fear of being out in spaces with lots of people and has a deep-seated worry about large crowds. That is one of the reasons why he's not done any touring for a while. Justin focused on trying to heal and get better by staying away from too many outings away from his home, where he would have to mix with strangers, and that in turn has made him borderline reclusive at times. Not to mention, Justin has admitted to being addicted to different medications and alcohol in the past. Justin eventually decided he wanted to get sober when he felt like he was dying. Now, being candid, he said, "My security and stuff would come into my room at night to check my pulse." Now, people don't know how serious it got. It was legit crazy scary, that's what he said. Scooter Braun, Bieber's longtime manager, called, ages 19 to 21 his dark period. Justin then became clean, but he's worried fans, that he's using again now. He's posted some very concerning content on social media, and fans think that, he might have relapsed again, which is not good. Justin Bieber's relationship with Diddy has been raising concerns ever since Diddy was arrested. Diddy has been arrested for running a crime ring for decades, and many different people have sued him for being mistreated and taken advantage of by him. Justin was close with Diddy at one point, and it has people thinking he might have been a victim of Diddy's. At one point, Justin spent 48 hours alone with Diddy. Now, what happened during those 48 hours, nobody really knows, but the thing is, Justin posted about it on his YouTube page. In this video, Diddy says he's having 48 hours with Diddy, where we are hanging out, and what we're doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a dream. I don't have legal guardianship of him, being Bieber, but for the next 48 hours, he's here with me, and we're gonna go full crazy. Now, this is just weird. It's been said that Justin might have been working with the police to bring down Diddy. Yep, footage has resurfaced of Justin and Diddy reuniting in 2021, and it has people questioning if Diddy thought that Justin was working with the feds. In the video, it shows Diddy getting out of a car and approaching Justin, giving him a hug hug before patting him down on his chest and torso a few times. The video has been posted in 2021 by Justin himself on his Instagram, but people are now thinking that Diddy was patting Justin down to see if he was actually wearing a wire. Now, the fact that Diddy thought he was wearing a wire says like a lot. It seems like Justin and Diddy spent a lot of time together over the years, and while it appeared innocent, dark things could have happened behind closed doors that we just had no idea about. Justin Bieber grew up in the spotlight young, and it affected him negatively a lot. In 2020, while speaking with Apple Music's Zane Lowe, he said, it was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone telling me they love me, and turn their back on you in a second. He then added that he wanted to protect Billie Eilish, who rose to fame young and quick like Justin did himself. He said, I just want to protect her. I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. He added that he hopes he could be, a good example for her. He basically said, if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be there for her. I'm just a call away. Now, him saying this almost just proves that he went through so much that he regrets. Speaking about his personal struggles that were made public as he was growing up, he said that at some points, it was bad, it was dark. Think about how young I was and how impressionable, and you have everybody telling you how awesome you are at all times. That's what he was explaining. He said, I just want people to understand the psychology of why I potentially could have problems in my life. Justin also confessed that he has been, kind of reliving in the shame and, all of this sort of stuff that's been brought up in his past. Now, Justin was in a highly publicized relationship with Selena Gomez for many years, but he actually cheated on her multiple times. There's even rumors that he cheated on her with Hailey. Fans were pretty shocked when Selena's BFF Taylor Swift seemingly confirmed that the singer had cheated on Selena at one point when she liked a super shady post about it on Tumblr. Now, during her public feud with Justin and his manager Scooter Braun at the time, Taylor liked a post that read, "We haven't got to communicate our differences. You cheated on her best friend and then publicly sided with the man who made revenge blank against her. Was she supposed to invite you over for tea? F out of here." Selena has also alluded to him cheating on her in her music as well. According to insiders, Justin's management team worked tirelessly to keep these rumors from surfacing, spending millions of dollars on legal fees and non-disclosure agreements to keep the women involved quiet. In some cases, it was said that women were actually paid off to deny the allegations and sign contracts that prevented them from speaking publicly. It seems like Justin doesn't like his wife too much. When Hailey and Justin are out in public, it really seems like he does not care about her. This has been shown in many videos from the paparazzi, as he once hilariously shut down a car door basically on Hailey, who was getting out behind him, and the other time he ran away from paparazzi skateboarding away without Hailey. Now, to make things work, she ran to catch up to him and she fell. And Justin didn't even help her get up. In 2022, during an interview with Apple Music's Ebro Darden, shared exclusively with People at the time, Justin opened up about his mental health journey and some of the harder truths his marriage, has helped him to face. He said, "It's a journey. I remember when I first got married, I hit a little bit of an emotional breakdown because I thought marriage was going to fix all of my problems, and it didn't." Justin said, it's just kind of was a reflection of like, man, you're a bit of a hypocrite, man. You want your wife to do something that you're not doing, and it's like, it's hard sometimes to look in the mirror and really have to realize, man, maybe you're not the person that you necessarily thought you were. He continued to say, and that's just a result of trauma and life circumstances. Justin, he's known to have a temper, both with fans, paparazzi, and strangers. Justin has actually hit at least 2 different photographers. Back in 2016, when Justin Bieber went on tour in Barcelona, Spain, a fan ran up to his car and actually stuck his hand in the window. The singer then instantly punched the fan in the face, making his lip bleed. Now, back then, the video of the incident was caught on camera. One time, Justin was involved also in a verbal altercation with paparazzi outside his Park Lane hotel. In the footage, the 19-year-old is seen pushing a member of the press out of the way as he climbs into a waiting car. Now, the pops, yell at him, and this causes Justin to exit the car and confront the cameraman. His bodyguards held Justin back and got back in the vehicle and drove away. There are actually a lot of videos of Justin yelling at the paparazzi. In 2015, Justin was ordered by a court to complete 12 anger management classes after he pled no contest to vandalism charges in 2014. Justin was charged with the misdemeanor, after he basically egged his former Calabasas, California neighbor's home and caused more than $800,000 in damages. That's a lot. Justin has also long battled Ramsay Hunt syndrome and first revealed his diagnosis to the public in 2022. The condition is a form of face paralysis caused by, reactivation of the shingles, which is like like, chicken pox or like herpes, virus in the facial nerves. It presents kind of near either ear. Now, the virus can potentially be reactivated due to aging, other illnesses, or severe stress. Now, we all know that Justin has gone through a lot of stress due to fame, so that actually could be what caused his illness. And finally, we have the fact that Justin is just as obsessed with Selena as Hailey is. Hailey is known to outright just copy Selena, but Justin is a secret lurker himself. At Coachella 2019, DJ Snake was a performer. He had surprise guests which included Selena. Now, days after the performance, Hailey and Justin posted a video of them looking at an article where they misspelt Justin's last name. He was complaining about that, but you could see his search history to the side. And what were they caught Googling? Selena's Coachella performance outfit. Not the performance, but like the actual outfit. Why would they look this up? Who knows? Honestly, it's weird.